I'm here in Ventura to talk about a very exciting project where a woman named Margo Pellegrino is paddling from Seattle down to San Diego to bring awareness to ocean and ocean issues. And I'm pleased to be joined here by June Barnard, right? And you are what, June?
I'm land crew, ground control for Margo.
You're mission control for Margo. Well, tell me about why this project and what are you guys trying to accomplish with this?
Well, Margo is paddling to raise awareness about the state of the ocean. She's trying to raise media awareness along the coast, stopping in communities all along the way. She's got four main talking points. She's very concerned with plastics in the ocean, which we've covered quite a bit of, and ocean acidification, unsustainable fishing practices, and degraded waterways. I mean, some of the
So what was the last one?
degraded waterways.
Degraded waterways.
So things like sewer runoff, um, fertilizers from your lawn, you name it. All that stuff washes out into the ocean and kind of comes down the waterway. So sewage treatment plants that haven't been upgraded in a long time. And a few of the beaches were closed for fecal matter. She didn't want to launch there, obviously.
Yeah, bad to launch in the
Yeah,
fecal matter.
no fecal matter. and even just some of the river mouths in southern Oregon. I've got a lot of footage, a lot of photos, still shots of the algae blooms, and some of them even had bubblers to try and break some of that up and have more oxygen or some less. I can't remember which one it is, but trying to get rid of the really amazing algae blooms. They look visually stunning, but they're pretty gross. They're a problem. There's too much nutrients in the water, and it's not a healthy ecosystem.
So why did Margo want to bring awareness by doing a paddle, and why did you join on to this little cavalcade here?
well, well, to answer the first question, she's a paddler. She's an endurance athlete, and that's her gift. You know, she's not a rocket scientist. She doesn't have a PhD, but she's incredibly passionate and very committed to keeping the ocean, if better, or as it is, or if not better, than she found it for her children. She's really focused on environmental issues from that standpoint. Most of her stories involved her friends and their children having cancer, and that seems to be kind of a high rate in New Jersey. And the pollution there, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it personally, but these are things that she feels very committed to. And by paddling, she's doing her part. She used to bail hay. She ran horses. She's always been physical, and the paddle made sense. Just is what she could do, and it's a unique style of paddling as well. It's outrigger, and there's an entire community surrounding that style of paddling, and you need a lot of support. So you can't stow like on a kayak. You can actually be self-supported. With an outrigger canoe, there's no stowage. That's why she has me. That's where I was recruited to be land crew. And I couldn't not accept this offer. It was a perfect opportunity to put my money where my mouth is. I mean, here's this woman willing to go out there by herself without a chase boat for 10 weeks out of a summer. And why not? Do everything I could.
You make a good point, June, about putting your money where your mouth is, because when talking to a lot of people, it's always a matter of, well, I'd like to do something, but I don't know what I possibly could. Now, Margo is mother of two small children, right?
Right.
And here it is summertime, prime family time, and here she heads off on a paddle. What's been her conversation with you about the effect that it has on her family to do a paddle and be gone from the home for this long?
Well, it's really challenging. It's lonely out there for her. But her kids are incredible. They've come out for the launch, and they came out when we were in the Northern California stretch, Lost Coast and down to Fort Bragg and Point Arena, and they know her as the paddler. Her daughter
Paddle mom.
calls and says, "Are you paddling now, Mom?" It's the sweetest thing, and they just are resilient. Her son likes salmon, not chicken, and she wants to make sure he has salmon that's healthy to eat. And that there are salmon available, so it kind of makes sense. And she's trying to hit that home with her kids. They're going down to be a one-car family. She rides her bicycle with the kids to school every day. It's their special time. I mean, they just do alternate things all the time, and they're not even that alternative. They make sense from an environmental standpoint, from a social standpoint, economic standpoint, and as much as she misses them and she misses her husband, they're so supportive. They're her biggest cheerleaders, and it's really beautiful to see.
What's been the most eye-opening aspect of being part of this tour for you?
I am astounded at her commitment and passion. Here's this little bitty woman, and she paddles every single day, and stroke after stroke in this, and still
It's
wakes
beautiful
up
today.
every day I am astounded at her level of commitment, and it's really taught me something, that we can all step up. We can all do more. I mean, she walks around the beach. We're trying to launch, and she's picking up plastic everywhere. And I'm thinking, okay, we got to get you on the water. So it's gotten me to pick up all the trash first, and it's a habit that I've gotten into as well. And everyone around her, she just picks up trash everywhere, and it's little things like that. Well, of course you'd pick up trash.
So June, how far into the trip is Margo so far?
Well, we only have, I believe, 12 paddle days left out of 60.
Wow.
So we're coming in on the home stretch. We're both trying to figure out how we're going to live inside again. And today she's like 2 or 3 miles out, so I'm expecting a little
call any moment.
Time now, any one of these modes of electronic tether.
And so what you guys have done is gotten some local outriggers to go out and actually rendezvous with her in the fog?
Yes, she actually has. I saw one OC6, which is a 6-man outrigger, go out, and there may have been a couple others, but so foggy I can't quite see. And there is a gentleman with the Surfrider Club. He's the chapter chair, I believe, Paul Jenkins. He's paddling out on his sit-on-top kayak to join her and bring her in, and he's hosting us here this evening. So the outrigger clubs and the Surfrider clubs along the coast have been really responsive.
What do you hope that people who watch this or learn about this project would take away from it?
We can all do something. We can do more. I mean, here's this little woman paddling 1,600 miles down the coast in an outrigger canoe and talking to everybody she sees on the street, on the sidewalk, in stores, cafes, everywhere she goes. She just tries to get people to think about this. And we can all do something. It is depressing to think about kind of the state that we're in, but once you get past that and realize that we have the opportunity, knowledge is power. And once you have that power, you can make change. You can take the plastic that you find washed ashore and make art out of it. And you may be saving the life of a bird or any of the other critters that plastic is finding its way up into the food chain. Yeah. Saving yourself. It's becoming part of us as well.
I don't think many people realize that. You know, it's interesting that you say there's that Gandhi expression that I think of as I'm listening to you, be the change that you want to see in the world. And it's true. When I go hiking or when I'm on the beach, I do try and pick up trash and plastic. If it's not overly, funkified, basically.
Right. It needs to be
relatively so, yeah. But sometimes I'll bring a plastic bag. Sometimes I'll just put it in my hiking pants. And to me, it's like, wow, if everybody did this, there'd be no trash anywhere. Right. We wouldn't have a problem with it.
And once you see somebody doing good, it's really hard not to do the same. It's inspiring and motivating, and that's the whole point. If she can do this, we can all do this. And think just a little bit of trash every day. Mm-hmm. That's just one place to start. And think about what you put down the drain, or what you wash your car with. Definitely what you put on your lawn. You really don't need a lawn. Try xeriscaping. Mm-hmm. You're going to save a lot in labor, in water, and in chemicals. Yeah, there's just all kinds of things. Just go in your garage, look under your sink, see what you've got. All of that stuff eventually washes out into the waterways and winds up in the ocean, and then we eat it. Right. On
Gross.
Some level. Grody.
What's grody? That's the word for the day, kids. Grody. There are so many lessons here, despite our differences in ideology. Yeah. We have a lot of common ground, or common ocean in this case, that's worth banding together to preserve, putting our differences aside, and trying to make it happen. It sounds like you and Margo are basically rally points that the rest of us can get behind and say, you know what, if they can do that, what is it that we could possibly do to make things a little bit better?
Right, that's the idea, We're doing our best.
Right. Well, I'd say your best is very good. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to actually talking to Margo when she rolls in here through the fog.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you know what we could do? We just stare out there and see who can spot her first. Look, there she is. Right. No, that's not her. Oh, look, there she is. No, that's not her either.
I can't tell you the countless hours I've been staring at that horizon.
I bet. Okay, well, I wish you guys both the best of luck on the last leg of your journey.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.